Now, here's a heartwarming tale, if ever you heard one. Pensioner Sylvia Blampy has revealed this week that she's been racked with guilt for 38 years because she was undercharged by £6 for bed linen she bought back in 1971. Now, in a bid to clear her conscience, she walked back into the store recently and handed over £20. What an honest woman. So, Lynda Bellingham.
I'd like to know where you can get bed linen for 20 quid these days.
Are you like her? Does your conscience keep you awake?
I'm not like her, no, but I have had sleepless nights about things, and I do indeed have a conscience about things, and I try to clear things up as I go along through my life, you know, rather than wait 30 years. But when we were talking about this earlier, I have to confess now on television, this was very bad, unfortunate timing, but... the thing was, I used to work in the holidays in a hospital and in the sluice room. And,
how old were you then?
About 16, so it's quite a long time ago. It's a very long time ago. But it has stayed in my mind, obviously, because immediately when we were talking about guilty consciences and things that upset you, it did upset me, and I have thought about it, and I have lived with this all my life, ladies and gentlemen, that I had to do things that perhaps shouldn't have... We had to do more work in the ward because it was short-staffed. Anyway, I had to do the lunches one day, and I didn't know how to work the trolley, and it was piled with plates, and it was all tins and cutlery and things. And the cutlery all fell off the trolley really loudly on the floor, and this man had a heart attack and died. No, but the thing is, it's not funny. Well, obviously, it's unfortunate, but the thing is, But the thing is, I thought it was my fault. It obviously wasn't my fault.
It obviously wasn't.
It wasn't. No, I didn't. It was the other end of the ward.
You're the cutlery killer.
Yeah, it was... But I thought I had, kind of. Obviously, I thought it was me.
Well, you can feel better now, Lynda Bellingham. It wasn't your fault.
Thank you, and I feel good about it. And the only other thing
I knew the knife crime was on the upland.
And the fork was totally out of the question. The other thing was, I used to help my dad with the lambing, and there was this sheep, and sometimes I had to put my hand, you know, like all creatures create sport, had to put my hand in and help, because I had a little hand. But I found it quite nauseating, frankly, so I never looked. So he said, feel around, Lynda, and you'll feel the foot. It's hard. I said, yes, I've got it. And I pulled, and I don't know what it was, but it wasn't the foot, so I put it back in again. Promise you. Anyway, it had the lamb, and it walked away, and Dad said, is it all right? And I thought, oh, I hope it is. I just thought it's rattling a bit.
There's not many people who murder sheep and people, though.
Stop it. It was a mistake. It was...
outrageous.
Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you.
Do you feel better now?
I feel much better now, thank you.
Well, I feel a bit boring now, because I only stole an eyeshadow and took it back to Boots the next day.
When was
Kill anybody
that?
or anything.
Was that...
Last week? No, it wasn't. I was about 10, and I was racked with guilt and took it back the next day. But it's so boring
No,
now, isn't
that's
it?
nice.
I do suffer from guilt, but I think that, you know, as a working mother, we're always sort of suffering from guilt, and I know that there's ways that I could change my behaviour, and I don't. But I'm not going to... I haven't got enough time left to go and...
That's what I think. Life's too short, isn't it? I mean, how much future have you got left to go back and right all the wrongs?
Exactly, and absolve all your guilt.
I feel guilty about everything, but, you know, in terms of things that I've done in the past, at the time when I've done wrong things, I didn't think they were wrong. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't, do you?
What did you say?
You're on your own.
Nice people who've sometimes done
I'm not a
bad
horrible
things.
person, but I have done some horrible things. But at the time, I give myself excuses as well, because I said, well, you know, well, what else would you have done under the circumstances? But there's something that I did, and it was a long time ago, and you know, it does worry me, because now I'm a mum, and I wasn't at the time, and I was working with someone whose little boy's cat died, and there was this little cat that kept coming to my front door, and I was feeding it, and I said to my then boyfriend, it's obviously not got an owner or anything, you know. I mean, you know, it's not going home, it's staying out all night. And I said to my friend, look, I know your little boy's cat's died. There's this cat that keeps coming to my house, and it's got no owner. Do you want it? And she said, oh, well, yeah, he'd be over the moon. So I gave the little boy the cat, and he was absolutely overjoyed. Next day, knock on the door, little girl about 7 says, have you seen my cat Elsa? Well, I shouldn't have said the name, just in case. Oh, no! I'm really, really sorry. But it was a long time ago, and the cat went to a really nice home. I'm really sorry if you're, like, in your 20s now and it scarred you for life.
Now, Lisa, if that was the worst that you did, it came from a good place.
It was. I was saving the cat and making a little boy happy.
That's
Yes,
right.
you were.
Yeah,
Come
you
on,
were.
Snow White, what have you done?